Yo, good morning, classic community, TBC anniversary enjoyers. Yo, shout out to my man, my bruv from the glove. I do believe he is from Michigan. I thought he said that. He's always wearing Michigan gear. Shout out my bruv from the glove. Hello, Jay Tello. I was watching your video this morning when I was dropping the kids off at school. That is not a metaphor for anything. I was dropping my kids off at school. I was not eating a steak and then taking a big old Dukas like you likes to do, my friend. But yes, thank you, Tello, Jay Tello, for averting my attention to this Sleshtherogue's post. He talks about a lot of things for the accelerated patch cycle of TBC anniversary. The thing that caught my attention the most, and he said classic Andes wouldn't like it. I would consider myself a classic Andy for, we before 2019 Classic came out. I was playing private servers, vanilla private servers. Classic came out, it ended. I didn't go play TBC. I actually got bullied out of TBC for being a warrior. I was very ignorant to a warrior's role and position in TBC in 2021. Everyone was very mad that I wasn't a paladin tank, so I just quit. So I went back to vanilla private servers, and I played Season of Mastery for a little bit, but then went back to private servers. And then again, when Anniversary Classic came out, I played. Some of you may have played with me. Regardless of that weird little backstory of being, I guess I said that to iterate the fact that I am a classic Andy, but would love to see this. A final adjustment, and probably the most controversial, would be adding a feature that Wrath of the Lich King Classic received in 2023. We'll see. Side note, Jay Tello, you didn't. It was confusing because he kept saying that this was implemented in Lich King, but he didn't say Lich King Classic. Because when I played Wrath back in the day, I don't really remember this, but I was still kind of a noob. I was raiding. I was doing heroic 10 mans and some heroic 25 mans. I was playing rogue. I wasn't tanking back then like I am now. And I just, even if it was implemented back in the day, I wouldn't have remembered it anyway. So yeah, it was in 2023 Lich King Classic, where vendors were added in the game that allowed players to purchase previous phase raid gear for a currency. To make it simple, so like when SSC comes out and we get tier 5, or whenever tier 5 comes out, the tier 4 tokens or just straight up and down pieces would then be added to the badge vendor. The currency we could use in TBC could obviously be the Badge of Justice, or maybe something extra added, which I'm not sure what that be. Maybe nethers, maybe 10, 20 nethers for a tier piece, 30. The currency, all right. Now, the argument against this would be that it makes older raids irrelevant, but given that those raids are mostly just 1 to 2 bosses, mag, gruul, or also give badges of justice in the next phases, that's a positive. Should Blizzard add that to Karazhan bosses, then people would still run these raids for the badges to gear. Yeah, because that being said, I would run my own Karazhans if they dropped badges, because I am. And, Jay Tello goes on to talk about how people who are in the pug scene, or if their guild is a loot council, or people are hard-resing things, that they're not getting the pieces like Dragon Spine Trophy. Our guild has been lucky, and I think we've seen Dragon Spine in our specific 25-man team. We have two 25-man teams. Our team has seen it, I think, 3 times now. I could be lying. 2 for sure. 3, I could be lying. And then our other team has finally seen it once or twice. Once for sure, I know that. Twice, I could be lying. Along with getting an additional option to get that loot. I've lost my tier pieces in Karazhan, I've lost the helmet to our healers, which is fine. I love if I'm gonna lose my piece, I love it I'd rather it go to a guildie. And I'm only losing my pieces because we're in our SR team and I have bad rolls. It's nobody's fault but my own. It's the roll of the dice. I'm not salty towards the loot council. I'm not salty towards the hard resing system that we don't have. We don't have it, so I don't have to deal with it. I have lost my 25-man tier pieces to guildies, which is fine. But last week I did lose it to a pug. I rolled a 5. You guys. So that being said, like moving into the next tier or the next phase, Serpent Shrine Cavern, it would be nice. I have like almost 90 badges of justice on my warrior right now. So if they implemented that, that'd be great. I could just buy them right like it, because going into the next raid phase, I'm gonna be not completely undergeared, but undergeared enough to where it might matter for survivability. Not so much threat issue, because we can, give me 5 seconds for threat, whatever the case may be. If I could go on and talk about how I need my tier pieces to swap certain things and get my trinkets for threat, blah blah blah. We're not going to do that. Let's talk specifically about the badges being able to supply the previous raid phases tier pieces. That would be amazing. If you don't want that, especially with the shortened life cycle of Anniversary in general, whether it was vanilla or TBC, and maybe moving forward into Lich King, where it was already implemented in 2023, so we wouldn't have to worry about that moving forward. But in TBC, I think it would be great. If you don't want that, you're just being selfish. Maybe, like, why wouldn't you want that? Especially, like, imagine my teammates, because now there's like talks of like, oh well, maybe we should let Stacks get the token tier pieces, so that way when we go into the next raid phase, he's his survivability is up, his threat gen is up, all these things, because there's already a tank issue. We've already lost, and I'm experiencing it within the guild, where we've lost people who could flex tank spec, like Ret Paladins, Holy Paladins who can flex prot. We've lost a couple druids. We've lost some bears who actually, from what's been told to me, gain better mitigation in the next phase due to resilience gear or whatever. I'm not too sure. I'm speaking on what knowledge has been given to me. I don't know TBC like that. This is my first time really enjoying TBC to its fullest, because when I first started playing, let me get this straight. When I finally got my own account and could pay my own internet bill and I had my own apartment, I started playing towards the end of TBC. So I never got to experience TBC. I had to level 1 to 70 during the end of TBC, the OG TBC. And then that's why in Lich King I was finally like ready to go. I was raiding. I had doing dungeons, doing heroics, doing the heroic raids, all the way to the Lich King. We did it. We done it. Got the 3 Drakes, black Drake mount, whatever. So for everyone can eat. And it's not like we're giving out participation trophies during the phase, right? Because that would still feel a little icky to me. That would make it more like retail. And let me be honest, man, when I lost them shoulders on a 5 roll, I was like, I'm just going to play retail, where everybody gets loot. The boss dies, we all get the little, casino slot machine thing in the middle of the screen. Is it Titan Forge? Is that still a thing? I don't know. But it makes everyone feel good, because no one likes to show up to raid week after week and not get anything. I haven't not been getting anything. I got rings. I got, my back piece, my throw piece, engineering recipes. You know, it's not like I'm walking away empty-handed every week. And as a tank who loves to tank, I do heroics for fun. I've had people add me throughout the week because of my previous videos to help them get their heroics done, and they just can't believe that somebody would actually just want to play the game as the role that they chose for fun. I'm getting off topic. Badges for tier pieces would be great. There's no participation trophies during the phase itself. We can still, because that, honestly, if there was participation tier pieces during the phase, it would kind of negate loot council and hard resing. Which, negating hard resing isn't the worst thing. I don't want to say I hate. It's frustrating when you see a DPS looking for 4 more, need tank and heals, but I'm hard resing the nether. I'm hard resing the epic loot. Like, if it's weird that pugs, people say tank entitlement. What about these pugs entitlement where they're just 0 guildies, but they want to hard res something from a heroic run? It's like, do people not have enough community around them, whether it's in a guild or friends, to be like, hey guys, can you guys run slave pens with me? I really need the epic legs off the last boss. Yeah, sure, let's get a couple people together, and when it drops, it's for you. But no, like, to go out of your way to make sure that other people aren't getting loot and hard resing something for yourself, that screams entitlement. I'm tired of hearing this tank entitlement BS. But again, I'm getting off topic. I just think that the buying the tier pieces for badges, and Jay Tello said 500 badges. That's an insane amount, bro. That's an insane amount. You'd have to be doing so many heroics every day, because he said Dragon Spine Trophy would equal, and I think he was being, I don't know the word right now. But DST, maybe 100 badges, because like the helmets and the trinkets are like 50 and 40. So like the best trinket in the game for most DPS, make it a number to where it shows that you put work in. We don't want everyone running around with DST. Well, like, we do and we don't, right? Because then I've always felt this way about participation trophies within a game, because it doesn't separate, like, the people who have the time and effort to put in and grind. It used to separate you from the pack and say, yo, I'm that guy. I'm the dude who puts the work in. I'm the dude who puts the effort in, the time in. I put the groups together. I did this. I did that. Look at my gear. Look at my reward for the time and effort. So if we could have something that maybe equals that as far as like badges go for the tier pieces, and maybe that's my argument. Maybe only tier pieces. No trinkets, no recipes, no rings, no capes. Specifically tier pieces for badges. And I would pay 80 badges. I'd pay 100 badges for the T4 chest and helm or shoulders. And Jay Tello went on to say that wouldn't solve it 100%. It would mitigate the tanking issue that we see, where many more tanks would then come back to be running heroics, and then everybody would be getting along and getting heroics done more often. And I did this tanking issue because I wanted to make a separate video, but I'll just make it in the same video with SSC coming out soon. I am seeing a decline in just player count in general. Healers, I'm seeing less and less healers in LFG. Summer is right around the corner. It's springtime. People are touching grass. We've had people not necessarily G quit, but just stop showing up. In LFG, I've seen a decline of healers. Tanks, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say, I said what I said in a different video, and I stand on that. but I'll agree with everyone that there's barely healers and there's less tanks. So I'm trying to do my best to help out anyone who needs me. Hit me up in game. Hit me up on Twitch. Hit me up on YouTube. I'll put my Discord in the description this time, and maybe you can message me through there. And if you're still needing certain items from some of the heroic runs for your pre-bis or some of your bis trinkets, like the eye from Quag, the abacus, whatever. That's all I can think of right now. But I'm seeing a decline in player count in general. And hopefully, even when SSC comes out, I don't think it's going to make a difference because people already seem to be, and I'm speaking from experience within my guild, people seem to be showing up for raid night, and then you won't see them again until next raid night. People aren't doing heroic dailies in the guild. People aren't just hanging out like they used to. Not like the beginning. The TBC hype train has, I don't want to say it's come to a screeching halt, but the brakes are on. It's unfortunate. I feel like for myself, the only thing that's keeping me playing is the fact that it is my first real TBC experience. I like tanking, regardless of who it's for, or even if I need anything from a dungeon. I'm going to stack my badges. I'm kind of stacking up badges just to see how many you can even have in your bags. I'm almost at 100. I don't think that the next raid phase is going to bring enough people back throughout the week. It seems that the TBC hype train is coming to is definitely slowed down, and I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it because there was just so much hype for TBC. Oh, TBC hype, TBC. Even in Classic Anniversary, TBC waiting room guilds, TBC when you all know, you've seen it. I do think that adding tier pieces, and that's as far as for the argument, I'm gonna say tier pieces only at the badge vendor. That's my position. Do you think it'll help the game? Do you think it'll bring people back consistently, not just for raid night? Not just for heroic daily, but actual player count during peak hours? Do you think it will help? I don't know. I'd like to say yes. So shout out the dude who made that post, Sleshtherogue. Shout out Hello J Tello, my bruv from the glove. That's my opinion on the matter. Thank you much. Enjoy your day.